Hey everybody. Right, I'm out on the baby. I've had it a few months now, but I've not ridden it yet. Hello Swan. This is the Honda CX650 Turbo. They made a 500 Turbo in 1982, and then they tried to improve on it by making a 650 Turbo in 1983. They only made 1,777 of these bikes. 1,200 of them went to America, and they were being used for mechanics to work on. None of them went to Australia, and only 100 came to the UK. So it's a 650cc V-twin, fuel injected, turbocharged. So both of the exhausts initially go into a turbocharger, and then the one pipe comes out of the turbocharger and splits to the exhaust at the back. And I love these because they're balanced. Look at that. Now this is the D-Reg, which in the UK is a 1987 registered, so this bike must have been sitting around for 3 or 4 years before somebody registered it. They're very rare now. I don't know how many are remaining in the UK, but this is one of a very few. It is turbocharged, as you can see there. Just let it crack up and let you have a listen to it. So, it isn't a choke on that, it's actually just a fast idle. The indicators are a little bit hard to get used to because they're just left, centre, right, centre. But it's got all the switch gear of a modern bike with the emergency engine kill. The lights are on this side though. And there's that lovely V-twin engine. I think it's 673cc. These have actually been known to do 1/4 of a mile in 12 seconds and a top speed of about 137 miles an hour. Got fully adjustable suspension. And it's even got a nice little touch on the seat, look. All embossed in. Isn't that lovely? Shaft drive. So it's going to keep the back wheel a lot cleaner. And the hydraulic disc back and front. Just had this fairing repainted as well. The UK models are gold wheels and they say Obrut on the front, which obviously in the mirror says turbo. The American versions had silver wheels and turbo. I much prefer this one. The screen is a little bit low. It causes a little bit of wind noise. It did originally come with a higher screen, but I put it back to the standard one because it looks nicer. There we go. Shall we go and take it for a play? It's quite easy to ride, but the revs, you've just got to set them right because it's a V-twin. It's ever so slightly lumpy at lower revs. The gear change is quite stiffer than normal, but it's very smooth, very smooth. The mirrors are fantastic, absolutely amazing. You can just about see your arms in them, but it also shows a lot of the road. The dash is nice and clear to read in that lovely old-fashioned Honda orange that they used to have in the 80s. But I'm hoping that you can hear me because there is quite a lot of wind noise here. I'm going up the lovely Via Gellia with its bumpy roads now. Manhole covers on every line, but it's dry so it's not a problem. Okay, let's just have a little play. Whilst I think about it with the turbo, here's the first time I rode it with the turbo kicking in. Pull out slowly. No one behind me. Second gear. Okay. Watch that turbo. Now that to me is what a bike is all about, having a little bit of fun and enjoying yourself. So the turbo on this comes in approximately about 4,000 revs and really starts to build up its power around 4,500 to 5,000. And considering this is a 30-year-old bike, this would actually beat the ER6s of today, which is the same cc, but this is actually faster. The engine's just effortless. This is what motorcycling should be all about. Nice clear roads. It handles really well. I opened it up a little bit earlier and it's so solid on the road, it's lovely. Get that turbo in. Here it comes. Oh, that was very smooth. I've noticed turbo lag a couple of times on this, but that's usually when you're opening it from really low revs and you're really opening the throttle full. If you let the revs open up, it's pretty smooth actually. I hope you can hear me. So let me just bring it down and we're going to see if we can get the turbo lighting up so you can have a look at it. Okay, I think I'm in about second gear at the moment. So let's just bring it round here. Nice steady throttle. It's up to about nearly 4,000 now, so it's ready to come in. There you go. Oh, that just kicks you in the back. It's lovely. It's not the power of my Tuono, but having said that, it's only a 650cc that's producing 100 brake horsepower. You name a 650cc twin like this in this sort of day, or any bike really in the 1980s that produced 100 brake horsepower like this. It's incredible. But the way it delivered it is lovely because it's just normal 650, have some of that. It's great. I love it. Let's just enjoy a bit more of this road. Was fun. Now let's do it on the way back. What a beautiful, beautiful bike. This thing's only done 300 miles in the last 7 years according to the MOTs. It's got a really nice purr to it as well. Really nice. The foot peg position's slightly higher than I'd have expected it to be, really. It's obvious it's been set up to be a sports tourer because the pegs are a couple of inches higher than I thought they would be. The seating position's excellent. The handlebars are just set right, they're the right width apart. The seat's wide enough and comfortable. It's even got a little cubby hole, little storage hole down here. It's got 18-inch front wheels, which means it's quite slow at handling. It's also very stable. The power's just never ending. When it gets above 4,000, when that turbo kicks in, it just pulls like it's on a bungee cord. I know I've used that saying before, but it really does. Still keep forgetting that this bike's over 30 years old. And it still pulls like it's new. The original story of this, I've been looking for a turbo for a long time. And I contacted this guy on a forum and asked him if he knew anybody that's got one for sale. As it happens, he did. He bought it from new and he sold it to this guy 10 years afterwards and bought himself another one. So he got in touch with the bloke, and apparently this had been sat in his garage, not really being used, so he very kindly let me have it. It's not just a case of buying a bike here, he let me have this because it's so rare. I feel privileged to own it. There's a few bits and bobs needed doing to it. The exhausts were painted in like a gloss black with loads of brush marks on them, so I had to strip the exhaust back and then repaint them. I used the PJ1 heat-proof satin black, which is perfect for this. There was also a few bits and bobs I touched up. The fairing was all stone chipped over the last 30 years, so I sent that off to a friend of mine who does beautiful paint jobs, and he sprayed it up for me back to standard. I've done an oil, filter, plugs change. I've also touched up the engine as well, because that was starting to craze and show through a little bit. But this is going to live next to my GTS 1000 Yamaha, which I bought originally just to test ride and sell on, and fell in love with it. And guess what? I've fallen in love with this baby as well. Look at it, it's just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Those of you that are a bit younger probably think it just looks like an 80s lump of metal and plastic. It's not. Even the quality of the fairing when I took it off to get it resprayed was that thick. You know, it wasn't one of these flexible crappy little fairings you get on bikes nowadays. This is just pure quality. And this is lovely to ride. I mean, I'm only in 4th gear at the moment because it's a nice responsive gear for the turbo. Normally, like on my Pan, I'd be in top gear now because it'll pull nicely. Where this has got almost like a 2-stroke power band to it, I need to use the revs a little bit more. But we're doing the speed limit, sat behind a car that's not reading the road brilliantly well. But if you ever get the chance to ride one of these, take it. Because when I first bought it, several turbo owners or people that have owned turbos had said to me, "Have you ridden it yet?" And I said no. And he says, "Wow, you've got a lot to look forward to. You wait till that turbo kicks in." To be honest, I thought, okay, I've had a 165 brake horsepower V4 to own now, so I'm not expecting much. But I tell you what, it's really got some kick. It's only a 650cc V-twin. But when that turbo comes in, wow. Effortless. The fuel injection mapping isn't as smooth, but I can forgive it on this bike. You know why I'm stopping here, don't you? Oh, I heard the turbo whistle and spool up then. It sounded lovely. I think they were only something like £3,500 to £4,000 tops when they were new. Probably not even that. Now, to pick up one like this, you'd be looking around £5,000 to £7,000. It's not for sale. I'm hanging on to this until I physically can't ride it anymore, and then I'll put it towards my pension. So, conclusion, what an absolutely gorgeous piece of kit. I love this bike so much, and it's going to be very happy living with my GTS 1000 and my 350 power valve. See you later, bye.